Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man G Real up in here. It's Thursday evening, and y'all staring at me, so it must be Thursday live. All right, ready to get it? Let's get it. I will give y'all a second to gather in. I got stuff. Boy, do I ever got stuff. Ooh, let me get it together. Ooh, let me get it together. Let me get it together. Hey, Paul Martin in the building. You're going to have fun tonight, Paul Martin. I got some woo-wee topics. And Groovy in the building, as always. What's up, Groovy? I'm just letting my stuff inhabit. And yeah, we gonna boy, oh boy. It been a week, man. It has been a week, and I'm just like, wow. We are reaching all new levels, or should I say, all new depths of hatred as human beings. And it's a scary, scary ass sight, man, that we as human beings are not grasping what it means to treat each other with respect and dignity. I don't know why people don't get that. I don't know why that is such a difficult thing for people to wrap their brains around. Golden rule, right? Golden rule, right? Treat people how you want to be treated. Otherwise, when people treat you a certain way because you're acting a butt, what you gonna say? A lot of people out here don't understand that. They don't. They either they don't understand or they don't care. One or the other. Yeah, I will openly admit we got a couple of hot button topics tonight. But we also got some pretty fun topics too. I mean, I wouldn't just, bombard y'all with BS and not give you something cool to bounce off of it. Make sense? Hey, Paul Martin, how you feeling about your team going into the 2025 season? Are they ready for Freddie? Are they ready to do their thing, or are we just going to be looking at more of the same? Yes, no, maybe. Don't everybody start yapping at once. You know what? Bam. Bam. I got a better version. Ha. Perfect. And it fits right where it's supposed to go. Badoo. Okay. So we're pleased with the coaching. Okay, yeah. That would be the most important step in the right direction to building, rebuilding, whatever they're doing over there in Chicago these days. Stir. I'm not fancy. I just like gadgets. I'm sipping tea because I've got tea. And I want to spill some tea with ye today. Do we need to discuss the Thunderbolt Avengers tonight? It's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a terrible thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think Wakandan Design Group. What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? Is what from? Are you asking? Is this hoodie from Wakandan Design Group, or what? What are we talking about? Oh, okay. The cup. I don't know. Is it safe to digest vibranium? Ingest vibranium? Well, what will it do to me? Hopefully, it give me some kind of powers. That would be cool. That would be real cool. Hey Jay, what's up? What's up? What's up, man? Glad you could make it, because I will be talking about what my next action figure project is going to be, and it's been done before, but it hasn't been done by me. So I'm going to put my own special little twist. Secret Wars. It's the 40th anniversary of Secret Wars. Did we know it was the 40th anniversary? I did a video earlier where I talked about the comic book itself, because we throwing around Secret War. You know, we say Secret War now. Secret War. When you say secret, like do a Google search and just put in Secret War. If you are trying to get, let me take that down. If you are trying to get this, that there is not going to be the first thing to come up. Don't believe me? I got time. I got a few minutes. In a search. Secret Wars. Ooh, that's some Polish TV show, it looks like. And right after that, talks about Secret Wars games. Then it talks about the 2015 comic book. Then it talks about the 2027 movie that's coming out. So now images, maybe that's a different story. But that's the first image under Secret Wars. Hardly what should be coming up. Well, I mean, it's Theo. What's going on, Theo? Where would I rank Mike Zeck? Art? Are we talking about art, Mr. Martin? We talking about art. Where would I rank Mike Zeck's art as opposed to John Byrne? You know what? You are in luck today, sir. I do believe that I have Well, I'm looking right at a Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. I've got that. Matter of fact, the very cover we're looking at, I'm looking at that comic book right now, and I'm gonna go over to the stack. If I got a Perez comic, I'm gonna pull that one out. Whatever it is, randomly. Don't even matter. We're gonna grab. Wasn't he? Yeah. Hang on. La la da 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 Mike Zeck. Now look at Mike Zeck's art, shall we? Because I don't think Mike Zeck did the cover art for Secret Wars. Where does that art stack up next to a Perez or a John Byrne? Not as well. Mike Zeck would not be in. Mike Zeck wouldn't even be in my top 5. That being said, the art is cool in this book, but the art ain't boom, knock it out of the park, amazing. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Well, since y'all here, I might as well talk about that. This project right here, that I'm going to be doing for Action Figure Tuesdays, I am going to reproduce this image using action figures. Now, before you say, D, do you have every last one of those action figures? Most of those action figures on that page, yes. I have that specific version of the character. Wolverine in a brown uniform. I have that Wolverine. Wasp. I have I've got this set of Avengers from Toy Biz, back in the Toy Biz days. And it's got a little tiny Wasp in it that will scale up well with the rest of these guys. So I have Iron Man, I have a Hulk, I have Spider-Man, Human Torch, Captain Marvel. I have that version of Captain Marvel. Now, some of these characters, I would say at least 3 of them, you're not going to get this original look from me, because I don't think I have a blue and gold Cyclops with his hair covered like he is on that cover, and a Mohawk Storm. Other than that, I got everybody else, so I can do that cover. Also, thinking about doing this cover, and I also happen to have all of these action figures as well. I didn't see you there. Hey, Grand Madam, how you doing? Hey, hello, hi, greetings and salutations, Queen. Good to see you. Thank you for pulling up. I got everybody except the Lizard, Volcana, but I'm going to sub a McFarlane Flame. Flame Beatrice De La Costa, Fire and Ice. I'm going to substitute Fire for Volcana because she's got the same look. She's got the same, and Marcia was a big girl, and a 7-inch figure is going to look big near a 6-inch figure. And that version of Dr. Octopus. Other than that, I got everybody else. I got that No Way Home Dr. Octopus, and he looks more epic. But we're gonna put it together, and gonna be kind of, I don't know, tricky. There's gonna be stuff in motion. You see what I'm saying? There are things in motion, like the wrecking ball and the ball and chain from the Absorbing Man. I'm gonna have to figure out. Well, Thunderballs ain't so bad because it's like that. And all I have to do is put it in his hand and he can rear back with it, so it'll look okay. But Crusher Krill, we'll have to figure something out this weekend. Jay say, looking forward to see what you come up with. Your heroes and villains post was great Tuesday. Oh wow. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. I'm glad you tuned in for that, brother. Because I don't know what the heck happened with the algorithm, but like my action figure videos were trending high, as far as views. And then all of a sudden it just, you know what? I had some problems with the internet the night I was putting those videos up, because I put that up with another video and neither one of them videos did that good. And so I think that might have had something to do with it. Y'all watch the videos. Y'all make sure y'all watch the videos. Whenever something come up, y'all watch them videos. Paul Martin said only 4 blacks on Battle World. You was counting them. So we gotta be careful. And I ain't saying that because it's you, Paul Martin, but just in general, we gotta be careful saying things like that. Think of the situation though. I mean, I get it. You want representation. So would I say I'm on a deserted island and I'm the only black here? It needs to be more black here. There's not enough blacks here on this deserted island. Shoot, who wants to be on Battle World? None of them people wanted to be on Battle World. But I get it. It was 1984, Paul, and that's how they was doing comics, bro. That's how they was doing comics. That's how they was doing comics. But yeah, speaking of comics, but y'all can look forward to that. For Action Figure Tuesday, I will even break out my Galactus. Well, I got a 10-inch Galactus. I ain't got that big 2-footer. But if somebody wants to get that for me for my birthday is October 14th. If you want to send me a big old Galactus, but my Galactus has lights and sounds in it, and he says I hunger. Not bad for a Galactus. But yeah, that off of that and on to this. Counted them out, huh? Okay. Well, this movie right here. Let me first say this. I ain't seen the movie. I ain't seen no parts of the movie. I ain't bothered to do no research on the movie. I've heard what I've heard. I've seen what I've seen. But as far as me giving a critique, an entire critique on a movie I've never seen, think about it. How can you critique what you haven't seen? I know how I feel about the movie, and how I feel about the movie is different from me saying, okay, hey, I saw a scene where Taskmaster just got shot in the head. Bam. That's how Taskmaster went out? That's how Taskmaster went out? That's how Taskmaster went out. Four of those 6 characters, 5 of those, they use guns. And the villain is the Sentry. They must have talked him down, right? Is that like kind of like Captain America? Is this the season? Is this the season for that? Where like heroes don't knock folks out no more. They just talk to them and say, please don't do this. You know this is wrong. You're destroying all of this property and you're hurting all of these people. So would you please cut it out? That what we doing now in action movies? We talking folks down. We are sensitive. We done got that sensitive. I might be overstepping my boundaries with what I'm saying, but I mean, if that's what we doing now, it's cool with me. But it's not going to make for good action. That's all I'm saying. You know, and what was that group of people going to do against a Sentry? Last time I checked, ain't none of them powerhouses. Not a one of them. Everybody knows if you're going to have a balanced team, and I'll help you out with the hard part. If you're going to have a balanced team, your balanced team must consist of at least one of the following. A tank / powerhouse. Examples of that, Superman, Thor, or the Hulk. People who could take a lot of damage, people who could give a lot of damage out. You got to have a powerhouse on the team. Number 2, you got to have a scrapper on the team. You've got to have somebody who's top-notch martial artist, trained in several disciplines, all that. Got to have a scrapper. You've got to have a scrapper. You've got to have a controller. And what I mean by a controller is somebody whose power allows them to manipulate, control, corral, attack, defend against large groups of attackers, i.e. like Scarlet Witch, Sue Richards, somebody who can corral, move. You gotta, if you're gonna have a superhero team, you've got to have a blaster. You've got to have somebody with some type of long distance attack, whether that's guns, energy blast, some type of energy, flame throwing, arrows, blaster, somebody who can hit you rapid fire with some stuff like that. And any combination of those. Everybody's a fighter. Everybody in that group fights. Where's the blast? Oh, they got guns, so they're blasters too. Where's the powerhouse? Now, I'm not criticizing the movie. I'm actually asking questions. That's what I'm doing. I'm not criticizing. I'm asking questions. So did Sentry join the team after the end, or did Sentry go to jail like he's supposed to? Thunderbolts. Secret Avengers. Well, do they understand that if you done told the whole world, you're not so secret anymore? So, guys, that is my take. That's it. I mean, I can look up some stuff if you want me to look up some stuff, but this is it. This is the way, as far as I'm concerned. With why give them the time of day? And I'm giving them, just by saying I'm giving too much time right now. You feel me? I'm trying to not be that cat. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna segue because I feel like segueing. And I'll save the more fun and interesting topics for towards the end. But let me fill these comments before I switch topics. Before I shift gears and go into underdrive. Paul Martin said, I don't like Sentry. I am only curious about his power source since they always use the same thing, super soldier formula. And that's it. I was looking at, Paul Martin, you just opened a can of worms. Let's go. I was looking at that too. So everybody on this team of the people listed there, how many of them are super soldiers or took some sort of serum? Yeah, over half. And if we think about it, even the people who turned out to have different power sets, I could count at least 20, over 20. That's way too many. That's way too many people. Yeah, that's way too many people for a whole so just make superpowers one source. And I mean, did somebody said something about the Hulk, but even the Hulk originally, that what he was making in the cinematic universe was a derivative of the super soldier serum. And the only reason it was different is because he used gamma rays instead of Vita rays. That's how that happened. Everybody, except maybe Thor. There's nobody. I mean, this is probably why we need the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in this universe, right? Because they didn't get their powers from no formula. A lot. Paul Martin believes Sif should have been on the team. I would have also asked them to bring in White Vision instead of Sentry. Who's the bigger threat? I don't know. LOL, didn't they say the MCU isn't for comic book fans? Seems like they right. Yeah. Sentry makes the ridiculous, overpowered Skrull girl with super Skrull powers redundant. Yeah, they have a habit of doing that a lot. And when first they got to make it make sense. That's the first thing they got to make sense. They got to do is make it make sense. And then secondly, they've got to learn to do better. From what I hear from reviews and people I've talked to, they say it's better than most of the drivel you got in phase 4 and 5. So there's that. And I was listening to a couple of reviewers, content providers reviewing the movie, and some are like, it was okay, and others are like, I still think they haven't turned the corner yet. So if we're doing that, maybe they do got a ways to go. I don't know. I put it like this: even if they are back, even if they are banging on all cylinders, I'm not messing with them still. So that'll just be me. I can be weird like that. Maybe I'm the one that needs to learn. But speaking of people that need to learn, this is a topic that has really been getting my goat right here, man. What in the hell? NPR and PBS are being defunded. Do you understand how fucking crazy that sounds? PBS. We talk about PBS. PBS? PBS? Well, I do not think we should be thinking about defunding the source that gave us Sesame Street, the electric company, 321 Contact, Zoom, Wishbone, and of course, Reading Rainbow. Why does funding need to be cut on that? Kids don't want to learn no more? And from what I read, the budget for NPR and PBS only make up 0.1% of the federal budget. But that's what you're cutting. You're starting with something that minuscule, but you're leaving all of this other stuff that will free up if you cut funding to that. Like Big Pharma. Cut some of their funding. The IRS. Cut some funding to them. Since we cutting funding to folks, cut funding to them. You'd rather tax people than get educated. That says a lot about our country, especially today. NPR. Do you know what NPR and PBS have in common? They were built with grants. Know what a grant is? Let me give you D-Real's explanation of grants 101. Basically, a grant is a proposal you write to an entity to say, this is what I would like to do. And this is how much it's going to cost. And I would like you to fund it. You don't got to pay a grant back. You just have to present a report at the end of the year, whatever fiscal year, or however you work out the report needing to be due, saying what your expenditures were, what your gains, what your losses were, blah, 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 all of that. So they know you ain't just take their money and go on a trip to Bora Bora. So I can remember for dozens and dozens and dozens of years, anytime I watch PBS, at the end of a show that comes on PBS, this show is brought to you by a grant from whoever was that granted the money for that shit to be on. They was for years going through private institutions getting funding, through philanthropists getting money. And when they finally do get federal funding, you're going to cut the shit? Make it make sense. You ain't going to cut them off. You ain't going to cut them off. They didn't come into being because of federal funding. And if I know folks that get down and do grassroots things, and I do, they ain't going to take it lying down. You ain't getting ready. You ain't getting ready. Because NPR arguably is one of the most straight-laced, no-chase news sources that I can think of. They got op-ed pieces, but you know what? You know they're doing an op-ed piece because they tell you it's an op-ed piece. That's the opinion of the person talking. But anywhere else, they give the opinion of a person and they're the ones saying that person's opinion. You giving somebody else's opinion, not the news. And that's what news is supposed to be. When I was growing up watching the news was straight laced, no chase. Walter Cronkite was on that bitch telling you who, what, when, where, why, how. He wasn't putting his personal opinion in that shit. I mean, every now and then he might make a little comment. He might say a little something. Or like when, somebody dies, you might say something, go off script and say something. But other than that, you were straight giving people the news. Nowadays, we give mugs a bunch of razzle dazzle, a bunch of jazz, a bunch of, okay, this is what so-and-so said, this is what so-and-so. And we don't even go to real news sources no more. I got people telling me, oh, I heard so-and-so did such and such and such and such. Where did you hear that at? Watch this video. Who the fuck is this? I mean, who is this person? I could get on a video and say some stuff. What makes it credible? That's what people ain't understanding. Does that person consistently bring me news? Does that person bring me news that I know to be accurate, or I can observe that it is accurate, or the general consensus of it is that it is accurate? Or we just believe in it because it suits our mindset, what we want to believe. Is it news or is it opinion? But back to this shit right here. NPR, same boat. Just like PBS. They got it out the mud. They didn't go to no government. They didn't say fund me government. What happened was, over the years, PBS and NPR became so credible and so necessary that the government said, you know what, this shit's so good, we're going to fund it. But now, you know who decides it's not a good idea. Him and McMahon's wife, because she's the Secretary of Education. That's not needed. That's not needed. My ass. What we talk about here? Something that the fool is pisses about the Donald Grump Muppet from. Some think that the fool is pisses about the Grump, Donald Grump. It's the Nazi playbook. It will cost the GOP dearly. It's to get you focused on that while he goes after his real targets. Well, Camello, it sounds like he out here with an assault rifle. And he's got more than one target. Yeah, that's what I said. 100,000th with a TH. But the funding need to be cut to that. Oh, that's too much. But you bleed in fucking trillions. Anyway, watch the Mr. Rogers documentary. They show footage of him before Congress justifying funding. Yes, and I've seen it, Mr. Martin. Yes, he did go before Congress. And it is more than justifiable. It's not, and for me, it's not a question of whether it's justifiable or not. Any human being on the face of the earth with common sense knows it's justifiable. But we got, jerkweeds running the country, and they decide this right here is more important. Anything critical of Darth Cheeto, he wants to ask. That part. And Paul Martin. PBS and NPR aren't willing to put up with the fuckery. I'll say it for you. The fuckery that other networks will, even so-called liberal outlets. Exactly. They might say some stuff you don't like. They might say some stuff that makes you uncomfortable, but they don't out and out lie. At least not knowingly. And I've been fucking with NPR for some years now. You know what I'm saying? And you get all the same news. You just don't get all that fluff. You just don't get all of that op-ed shit. They who, what, when, where, why, how. Done. That's news. Anything else, you putting on a show. Anything else, you pushing an agenda. And we know lots of agendas get pushed on Fox and CNN. Speaking of agendas that get pushed on Fox and CNN, here we go. Let's talk about this one right here. Did anybody watch Piers Morgan the other day? About 3 days ago, I think it was. We got Brother Hill on this panel. And the lady on the far right is who I want to draw your attention to. Matter of fact, let's get rid of these other two cats. Y'all, this right here, her name is Lily Giddis. She is a social media influencer, financial. Okay. And she proudly said, because the conversation was about Shylo Hendrix, who we'll talk about on this show a little bit later. She jumped to her defense and said, I think that we should be supporting her and her use of the N-word because y'all know why. Freedom of speech. Ta-da! Don't they always go there? Freedom of speech. Okay. Let me preface this part of the show by saying to black and brown people, this country was not created with you in mind of being a full citizen. Let me say that again. This country was not founded with you in mind of being a full citizen, black and brown people. Do you know what the climate is in this country right now with a lot of Caucasian people? They feel they are under attack. They feel that they are being minimized, reduced in their own country. Their country. See what I'm saying? When you get mad, when you get upset, when you get scared, the words start coming out of their mouth the way they think it, instead of premeditated and putting that sugar on it. This lady right here, I keep doing that. This lady right here said she uses the N-word frequently, all the time. And Piers Morgan, he wanted to probe. He wanted to go deeper. Piers wanted to know how, because they wanted to go back to talking about Shylo. And Piers was like, hello. Let's. I want to talk to Lily. I want to hear. And Piers Morgan called her, and I quote, a despicable racist, a filthy racist, and asked her, do you believe that you are a racist? She said one of them one of them wonderfully conservative answers. Well, because they love to fucking deflect everything. If that's the title you're going to give me, just say yeah and be done with it. You just got done saying, and he said, she said, I use the word all the time. He said, when do you use the word? She said, when it's appropriate. More deflection. And, I got to give Piers props for pressing. That's how you do an interview trying to get an answer. He said, when is that? You know what this heifer said? She said, anytime I feel like it. I do not generally come across political issues or issues that are like politically charged, but in this current age, some of them you just can't avoid. This is one of them. And either this heifer is putting on the best show ever, or she truly believes that shit she's saying. She truly believes it is freedom of speech to speak hate to your fellow human being. That's my right to insult you. That's my right to disrespect you. That's my right to minimalize and marginalize you anytime I feel like it. Lily Giddis, that's her thought process. That's what she believes. And she said she's used the word on numerous occasions. But then Piers Morgan went left and dared her, basically what was the equivalent of daring her to say the N-word on his show. Thank God for Marc Lamont. You know what I'm saying? My man lost it and went ham on her. Even called the old boy Uncle Tom. He said, there's a black man on this panel. He said, it's black men on this panel. He said, well, it's a black man and an Uncle Tom on this panel. Whoa. Anyways, though, man, he wasn't having it. He like, man, put some panties on that dog. We ain't getting ready to go there. Especially when I can't reach out and touch this heifer. He didn't say that last part, but that's what everybody's thinking. This is what we living in. So you got to understand something. You got to understand something about me. I'm 100% rolling with Malcolm X and his philosophies and his beliefs and his thought process. I ain't against giving the Martin Luther King strategy a try, because a lot of times it can get in places where straight intimidation won't. But at the same time, you got to be a hybrid of both in 2025. You can't just 100% be we shall overcome and then 100% be by any means necessary. We got to make a hybrid, like a gray Jedi. You know what I'm saying? We got to deal with some of this stuff, and a lot of stuff that we need to be dealing with is not going to be dealt with talking or coming to the table or being peaceful with somebody. Just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not my mama's civil rights activist. I'm not my grandma's civil rights activist. When negotiations break down, the rights and lefts is coming. You gonna talk to me with some respect, or you gonna meditate in a horizontal position. I learned that a long time ago in martial arts. Along with martial arts, it ain't just about learning how to fight. It's also about learning how to conduct yourself as a human being. And one of the things that my sensei would always say to me was, and it was part of some things I had to know, like to advance to the next belt level and all of that. And one of the things was like, he who hesitates about hesitation, you don't hesitate, you move, you do or you don't do it. You don't stand around, what if, and he said the reason why is because he who hesitates meditates in a horizontal position. In other words, if you don't make your move, you're going to get knocked the out. But yeah, went on to say a lot of I could just punch you in your eye type shit. Defending that heifer. You know what I'm saying? Defending, coming, just standing up like we're tired. Is what we're tired of being threatened in our own country. I thought we was all Americans, bitch. Oh, excuse my language. I'm sorry. But I thought we was all Americans, right? You know what I'm saying? How it's your country now. That's why I said what I said at the onset of this. This country, this land is your land. This land is my land. Bullshit. We still got sundown towns in this country. This land is your land. How we still got sundown towns in this country, but racism ain't an issue. It's clearly an issue because Caucasian people have been emboldened by their orange Sith Lord to say and do crazy shit. You think I'm lying? Last week, what was it this week? Pittsburgh Pirates usher at the baseball game. White man spit on him. Didn't spit on him once, spit on him multiple times. He came with the, you know what I'm saying? He came with the dogs first. Pieced the old boy up, but then people start coming, getting in between them. But my man went around, continuing to spit on my guy. I guess old boy was like, well, if you're going to act like a child, I'm going to treat you like a child. And my man took off his belt and whooped this dude's ass like a child. Bruh, you can't make that up. You can't. And now he's suspended. See, this got shit going on now. He got suspended from his job basically because he got spit on. And could potentially get fired. Bruh, all I got to say about that, me too. I pray to God no Caucasian person ever gets the gumption to spit on me. Because if I'm at work and they spit on me or some shit like that, I'm just losing my job that day. You ain't spitting on me and thinking shit's sweet. Really? Where does that mindset? Because you think I'm that beneath you that I'm something that can be spit on. Or you feel that comfortable in your social setting, which is a more likely scenario, that you can spit with no consequences. Spitting's considered assault in some cities, some states. Class C felony here. So if you spit on me, we already in felonyville. I might as well whoop your ass too. So I can get one right with you. I'll show you how to get a felony. Let me shut up. Let me shut up. No, none of that. Never mind. Maybe I'll edit. Y'all blowing up the comment section. Let me see what's going on. Wait a minute. Kamoyo said F they feelings. I know. Grand Madam say freedom of speech, First Amendment is between the citizen and the government. Say the wrong thing to the wrong one, then F around and find out. I know that's right, mama. Piers is an apologist for the fool. So is he talking out of the side of his neck, helping set the climb? Piers, you know, Paul, you hit the nail on the head. Piers wants views. Piers wants people to watch his show. So yeah, he's gonna fan the flames. Yeah, he's gonna incite that woman to say certain things. Absolutely. That's all it was. That's exactly what it was. Theo say, y'all, you're talking about the bleach blonde, big nose, flat chested woman. No, we're not talking about that one. We're talking about, that's a good segue. Hang on. but they never publicly say shit racist about Jewish people. Yeah, matter of fact, flock to their protection. Freedom of speech can lead to freedom of ass whooping. Yes, it can. Jews will sue you economically, something black people are slow to catch on to. Yeah, because we need that immediate satisfaction. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. They hit us where it hurts. We need to start learning how to hit them where it hurts too. Slander, libel, and in some places, cursing can place you in front of a judge. You are so right again, Grand Madam. Paul Martin said, I never use the N word. If and when I do, I use this definition. Offensive, a contemptuous term used to refer to a person of any racial or ethnic origin regarded as contemptible, inferior, ignorant. I mean, that's your choice, but that ain't the origin of the word. That's just the way I see it. I mean, we entitled. I feel like, yeah, you if you're gonna use the word, well, not you, Paul, but if people are going to use the word, they need to understand whatever context you use it in around me and you white. I'm busting you in your mouth. Don't do that. It's not nice. We don't have a word like that for y'all. If we had a word like that for Caucasian people that cut to the core and burned and hurt and brought up generational trauma, we'd use it. We don't have it. Moyo said, my uncle taught me, if you feel you need to go full contact. I only got one speed. Once you open it up, it's opened. I only got one speed. Once I crash out, I'm crashed out. Ain't no, oh, dude, he kind of halfway sort of crashed out. Nah, you know it's a full crash out. Theo say their country is back across the water. Low key, everybody's immigrants except for the indigenous folks in this country. I don't know why folks, it's ours now because we came and took it. And gave you blankets with smallpox and ran you off your land and put you on reservations. It's ours now. Yeah. Paul Martin said, I've worked in a predominantly white hood for over 30 years. The ratchetness I have seen more often surpasses stereotypical hood behavior. We could talk about that. We could talk about that. Yeah, when he talked about, you know, the white woman he describing, you know what I'm saying? Beast blonde bad Bill Bush body is who you talking about. When you say that, we think about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh yeah, Neanderthal. Because I saw a picture the other day, meme of a Neanderthal. It had a picture of a Neanderthal like in a museum, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I ain't gonna say Marjorie Taylor Greene looks 100% like a Neanderthal, but Marjorie Taylor Greene and that Neanderthal in that picture shared many common traits. Gentrification equals dig poop landmines. Stay classy, palm colored folks. Dog poop mines. That makes a lot more sense. My coworker has the best words. Yeah, and if I start calling some of them out, this is gonna sound like a racist ass show. So, but since it's not, let's get to the racism. Here we go. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you came over here for. This is the smoke you have been seeking. Okay. White trash lady, let's talk about it. Okay. For those of us who have been under a rock for the better part of a week, this is Shylo Green. Shylo Green lives in Minnesota. There's a lot of racism going on in Minnesota. George Floyd, Philando Castile. What y'all doing up there in Minnesota that y'all just feeling so footloose and fancy free? Anyway, Shylo, did I say that? My bad. Felt like it was a good idea to call a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word several times and attempt to physically go after him. And I think if she hadn't been caught on film, she probably would have tried to go after that little child. She's so popular, she's a cartoon now. Now, what did she do after she did that? She got on some conservative GoFundMe, I think it's called Give, Get, Go or something like that, and raised almost $1 million damn dollars. Bruh. How? I'll tell you how. Give, Get, Go was unaware. Well, they weren't unaware, but Give, Get, Go caters to a certain complexion of clientele. Okay. She said her life's been threatened. She needs the money to relocate. She needs the money to take care of her family. But she's got freedom of speech. It's okay for her to say what she wants to say. Footnote to this story right here. I didn't get a picture of her, but when I get a chance, I will post a picture. There is a young black queen, a young entrepreneur out of Atlanta, Georgia, by the name of Keandria Damone. Do you know what this beautiful black sister in Atlanta did to help us all out and to expose this funky heifer? DeAndrea knows how to decipher HTML code or HTML code, excuse me. She knows how to decipher the code. She deciphered the code in the messages. And one of the words, one of the key words that came up in her deciphering was black ink. Do we know what black ink is? Black ink is a subsidiary of Square. We all know who Square is, right? If you ever done put on a show or you done paid for something or been doing business on your own and you need to swipe and you had to have that swipe there. If you work with Square, you know what it is. Square does not endorse hate speech. So I urge y'all to go on Instagram, look up Miss Keandria, follow her, because when I heard what she did, I immediately followed her because I wanted to see, just like I was telling y'all, I want to check sources. I want to see if this is real. I want to find out if Keandria Damone is actually doing what she's saying she's doing. And she is. It's not deep in the news because the news is controlled by palm-colored people like Shylo, and they don't want that to come out. that they getting ready to get exposed. So don't trip on her. She's getting ready to get what, because what's gonna happen if they find out, if in fact, because the comments, they had to shut the comments down because these white folks was coming with all of their best white supremacist Nazi shit and was posting it. You know what I'm saying? One person listed themselves as Nuck Figures. And it's a whole bunch. Oh, they went ham. They went ham. They lost their monkey ass mind in them comments. You know what I learned? You know what I learned about them comments? Somebody, one of them haters, and that is an appropriate term because they hate. One of them haters put 1488 in his message. All right. Y'all want me to decipher what 1488 means in hate speech? Let me break it down for you. Let me break it down for you. Here what 1488 means. 14 represents the 14 words that are a slogan in white nationalists' hate speech internationally. And those 14 words are this: we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. That's the 14. Know what the 88 is? What's the 8th letter of the alphabet? H. 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 Yeah, the mustache guy. See, they got little slick codes too. So why are we giving them all of ours? Why are we letting them learn our slang? Why are we letting them learn our code? Why are we letting them speak and talk in the tongue that we are supposed to be communicating with each other in exclusively? Because rappers and folks like that want to make money off the culture. Not to say you shouldn't be able to make money, but damn, don't be exposing this stuff and they exploiting us because they got their own speech and their own way of talking and communicating with each other, and we know nothing about it. If I hadn't started poking and prying and snooping and sneaking and looking, I wouldn't have found it either. Would have been 1488 all over my stuff all day. Stay woke. That's staying woke right there. You got to stay up on them because they trying. They trying, and every day, every way, everything they do, everything they say, they trying. They try and get us, man. Woo, splashing. Because like I said earlier, this country was not founded with black and brown people in mind. It wasn't, y'all. It just wasn't. I mean, we do what we can and make it be what it be, but it ain't here for us. And we seeing it in a major way now because they ain't holding back. They saying and doing whatever they feel like, spitting on people, flipping you off, calling you the N-word, getting up in your face. Bruh, we ain't safe no more. We ain't safe no more. Do y'all know, because of the way we would talk, like even back in slave time, it kept us from getting beat. Because there was certain things you could say if master was coming. You didn't have to say, oh, master was coming. You something else. But only we knew it. When Harriet Tubman was freeing the slaves, do you think she said, come this way, y'all? That's what plaits and hair was. That's what braids and they was maps. We don't know nothing about our culture, man. That's why we can't let them wipe our shit out. We still ain't learned it yet. We still don't know nothing about it yet. Ain't taught it to our kids. Bruh. What are you talking about over here? She is trash. I agree. She is. Marjorie Taylor Greene comes from a part of Georgia that believes in inbreeding. That's why her body still looks like a white woman from the 50s, vice the new millennium. Meth country and inbreeding. Or almost Veep is from Minnesota. I ain't saying. Is she a single parent? I don't know, and I don't care. If you're a single parent, that's even worse. You throwing N bombs around. Minnesota, the land of 1,000 rivers. Just a thought. Minnesota is actually the land of 10,000 lakes, not rivers. Or is it? I know on the license plate it says a land of 10,000 lakes. And before they were in Los Angeles, their name made more sense when they were the Minneapolis Lakers. That makes a lot more sense. There were lakes. What kind of garbage wants to attack an autistic child? I had one punch me in my chest over 20 years ago at work and didn't retaliate. You know what? If a 5-year-old autistic kid punched me in my chest, no, I wouldn't react. But if a grown ass autistic man punched me in my chest, he's still getting that work. Because even autistic people know right from wrong, depending on where they at on the spectrum. I know with 17 plus 1 and in a few months, 30 plus 30. Paul say our codes is what helped. The Underground Railroad. I get what you're saying. Boy, y'all be typing bad. Appendix or 4 o'clock, depending on how I feel. We don't mind the haints. Haint blue is the color of my front porch ceiling. Indeed. Theo said, I'm just looking at the hypocrisy involved from the haters. If she's a single mother, because supposedly that's a black thing, let them tell it. Well, they tell a lot of things. And while I'm here and I got y'all in here, let me just say something to y'all that I want y'all to know and understand. When a white body person that you engage with, and you end up having some kind of intense fellowship with this person, and the remark, black people are 13% of the country, but account for 50% of the crime, look them in their face and give them a hearty, full-blooded bullshit, Mr. Handman. Quick question. Who has more police per capita patrolling their neighborhoods? White neighborhoods or black neighborhoods? So, class, answer the simple question. Who is more likely to get arrested? The person where they live where a bunch of cops hang out at, or the person who lives where a couple cops cruise through here every now and again? That's why, asshat, for no other reason. Crime is circumstance, proximity, and opportunity. That's it. If you are crammed closer together, redlined in fucking ghettos, there's the closeness. There's the proximity. And there's damn sure the opportunity. That's why. No other reason. It ain't nothing inherent of black people. I just thank you for your edutainment moment there with that. And I'm glad, and I hope you take that knowledge to someone else and educate them and help like dumbasses like people who say that shit. Also, too, make sure y'all go to Keandria Damone's page. She got a lot of not just the stuff that she's dealing with, Shylo with. She's got some interesting stuff on her page, period. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneur. I like to see people that hustle and grind and get theirs. You know what I'm saying? Because I identify with a hustle mentality. I ain't got no problem getting it out the mud. You feel me? Wow, Paul. Really? I wouldn't have went there with it, but okay. I really don't know. if they're into cuckolding. Maybe we'll sit down and explain cuckolding to people on Friday Vibing. Stay tuned. We are more than 13, and they commit the most crime by a country mile. Spell her name. Kiandria. Demone. Demone. And thank you for checking her out, man. She got some things going on, man. I like to see that, man. We ain't no lost cause, man. We just gotta put the right pieces together. You know what I mean? Theo said mass murders and serial killers. They can miss me with that. Hell, the war in Ukraine is a white crime. They don't understand. But you know what? I ain't tripping on what's going on because it doesn't involve me directly. I do have a very good friend who her lineage is from the Ukraine. Her mom and dad are from the Ukraine. I think one of her parents is here and another one is still in the Ukraine, and they're trying to get the parent over here, I think. But yeah, shouts out, Sonia. How you doing? Love you. Paul say, I have met white folks in Brooklyn that brought their connection to La Cosa Nostra. Indeed. Following. Thank you. I'm sure she appreciates that too. All right, y'all got me all flared up. I need to lighten the mood. Because when I get to thinking, I start thinking about getting organized and doing some things, and that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be chilling and letting them make fools of themselves. So I'm gonna try to hang back and chill. Wesley Snipes has a birthday coming up in July. It's only May. But I want to get a jump on things and start celebrating West now. And we can talk about it, we can do it however y'all want to do it. But I'm going to do it like this. Out of these characters, who's your favorite Wesley Snipes character? For those of us that are driving and listening, is it Nino Brown from New Jack City? Is it Blade from Blade? Is it John Cutter from Passenger 57? Is it Simon Phoenix from Demolition Man? Is it Noxema from Tu Wong Fu? Thanks for everything. Sincerely yours, Julie Newmar. Tremaine from Wildcats. It's the sport of kings, better than diamond rings. Football. That's a terrible song. I liked it. Or Bobby Rayburn from The Fan. Sydney from White Men Can't Jump. Or Flipper from Jungle Fever. All those are very different roles. Nino Brown ain't like Blade. Blade ain't like John Cutter. John Cutter ain't like Simon Phoenix, and Simon Phoenix, ain't like Noxzema. Noxzema ain't like Sydney. Sydney ain't like Bobby. Bobby ain't like Tremaine. Tremaine ain't like Flipper. So, that means Wesley Snipes is a versatile actor. And we ain't even mentioned the movies he been in that I didn't put in this list. I purposely didn't mention them because I knew y'all would be like, well, what about her? And what about her? And I like you. And I like. So, nah, give me your choices. Paul Martin said the whole top row. He liked Nino Brown, Blade, and John Cutter from Passenger 57. I like John Cutter from Passenger 57 too. He was kind of like a black James Bond. Kamoyo said Blade, Simon Phoenix, and Nino Brown. Good choices. Grand Madam say John Cutter and Blade. Favorite. If I had to go with one and only one, it would be Simon Phoenix. Why? Because Simon Phoenix encapsulated a little bit of everything. Simon Phoenix allowed Wesley Snipes to show his acting ability, his range, his athleticism, his ability to ad-lib and improv. He did a lot as Simon Phoenix. And he even put on a look. I think he said what he was going for when he was, envisioning Simon Phoenix was he was going for a black Joker. So, and I think he nailed it because we did believe Simon was a crazy homicidal dude. He even got a gang and got them. Let's go pillage and kill and destroy, just like the Joker. So it was nice to see. Paul Martin, best role I saw Wesley play was a cameo in Waiting to Exhale as a guy Angela Bassett met in a bar. Touching, understated performance. Well, if that's the case, I enjoyed Wesley Snipes in One Night Stand, which is a movie he did with Nastasia Kinski and Ming Na. But they was switching up, like I think they was like swinging. I forget who the guy was, but they had like switched up chicks, and his wife liked sleeping with the dude she was sleeping with better than him, and he liked sleeping with the other chick better than he liked sleeping with his wife. And because it was a scene where his wife was like talking through the whole scene, and she was like, okay, now do this, now put it there, now do that, now do this, okay, move over here, all right, like she was like coaching him. And like, if you talking to me like, "Ooh, daddy, it feel good," that's cool. But don't. Oh, hey, hang on a second. What's hey, did you check it? Did you watch the news? Hey, what's going on? Oh, I got an appointment tomorrow at 9. Yeah, I don't want to hear about all of that when we smashing. Anyway, Gray likes Sydney, Simon, and John Cutter. Willie Mays Hayes and Shylo Hendrix. Mo Better Blues. I just watched that the other night on Tubi. Rounds out the top 5. Okay, yeah. I liked Western Rising Sun too with Sean Connery. I liked him in that movie. I like Senpai Kampai. I like that. That was a good movie. But yeah, 3 of my top 5 Wesley Snipes movies are on here. Oh no, 4. Sydney, Simon, Blade, and Nino. Are 4 of my favorite 5. I liked Willie Mays Hayes in Major League as well. Did Omar Epps take over that role in the second Major League, or was he? You know what? I ain't got to ask y'all. I got IMDb. I can ask IMDb. Okay. Yep, Omar Epps took over the role of Willie Mays Hayes in Major League 2. I wonder why Wesley didn't want to come back and do Major League 2. They must didn't offer Wes enough money. Well, is what it is, right? Be what it gonna be. Be what it gonna be. Let me take this down real quick. I want to show y'all something, and I would like to know your immediate thoughts about it. If it's important. If it's important to you. I am going to have me a Marvel DC matchup. Is what I'm going to do. But you know what? I am going to make it difficult. I'm going to make it difficult for you. Yes, I am. Check this out, y'all. Y'all gonna like this. Who, pray tell, will win a fight if I'm waiting for my images to inhabit. This joint's kind of slow. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Okay. Who will win a fight between Black Adam and Captain Marvel? Now, since it will be difficult to measure feats, as both of them have many, and even though I don't have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson up, I am saying stick to the cinematic versions. Again, I will repeat that. Stick to the cinematic versions. When you are thinking of feats, when you are thinking of who's stronger, faster, better, the only reference you have is movies. Black Adam's only been in one, but he did a lot of shit in that movie. So, that being said, who's going to win a fight between those two? Teth Adam or Carol Danvers? I mean, Carol Danvers does appear to have energy absorption abilities cinematically. So theoretically, couldn't she absorb anything Black Adam threw at her? And has she been able to absorb magical energies? And could she absorb magical energies if she needed to? What we thinking about that? How we feeling? Somebody? Anybody? Nobody? Not asking you to understand it. I'm just asking you to make an assessment based on what you know about those two characters cinematically. It may not make any sense. Might not make no sense. But this is where we at with it. Mario say Teth Adam. So Teth Adam will be able to either A, hit Carol with more energy than she can readily observe, or because the energies that Black Adam wields are magical in nature, we're not sure if Carol gonna be able to absorb that. Because as of yet, we have not seen her absorb magical energy in the MCU. No excuse, Paul. There is a thing called YouTube. And I bet you $1 million to a dozen donuts, there is a video filled with nothing but Black Adam feats in that movie. Trust me. He did a lot of stuff. He did more stuff in that one movie, I feel like, than Carol Danvers did in all the movies she was in. She was in her own movie. She was in the Avengers and she was in the Marvels. 3 movies. I still feel like Adam would take her. Because I feel like Adam's stronger. That's just me. Plus, I think he's got like what, a couple thousand years of fight experience. I mean, he was locked up for most of it, but I don't think you ever forget how to fight. You know what I mean? Once it get right down to it, and the hands and the dogs start dropping, hands start flying, it come right back. Muscle memory, man, never fails you. Great, we got our first Carol Danvers. Okay. So you feel like Carol's strong enough to knock the dog crap out of Black Adam. So by that same thought process, you feel like Carol Danvers could go toe to toe with Superman? I know that's cheesy for me to bring up, but there was talk about, Black Adam and Superman squaring up, and they didn't ever bring that to fruition. Drop the ball on that one. He edges her out in combat abilities, ruthlessness, and a willingness to take it there. This will be a hand-to-hand slobber knocker, but he will put her down in a fight. He got hands for everyone. Paul Martin has a point. As Marvel heroes manage to kill damn near all their foes. Like, why y'all got prisons, man? Y'all killing everybody. I don't know. Kamaya said, AI even say Black Adam a taker. Interesting. She went blow for blow with Thor in What If. Not live action, but still in universe. See, but what I say about Thor, Gray, is Thor is strong, but to me, Thor is more powerful than he is strong. And I don't get that air with Black Adam. I feel like Black Adam is powerful and strong. Not to say Thor ain't, but I feel like if Thor and Black Adam got into a fight, Thor would beat Black Adam because Thor is more powerful than Black Adam, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? Paul Martin say, what if Thor is party Thor? So, well, then by that same token, if Thor wasn't party Thor, and Thor was going all out, and Thor was being, let's say, Thor just went straight ruthless. I'm giving you hell as party rock in the house tonight. I'm giving you a hard time. Imagine what kind of time I'm gonna give you when I turn into homicidal maniac. And I feel like Thor and Black Adam got a lot in common. Just saying. Mr. Martin, look at the poor quality of villains in the MCU. Also, Carol worries about bystanders. Okay, how about this? They're having a fight in a desert. So there's no chance of them hurting anybody but some cactuses and a couple of jackalopes or some shit like that. Now, bystanders aren't a factor. And so Carol can flex and do whatever she need to do. So we don't want to make it about, some sucker stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so it'd be a cop out. No, the only reason he beat her was because, nah. He beat that ass because he beat that ass, not because she was worried about bystanders. And that's what I'm saying, Kamaya. If Party Rock Thor wasn't bothered by Carol and What If, then I'm not holding back Black Adam. She gonna have some problems. Don't get it twisted. I don't think it's gonna be he ain't just gonna smack her all over the place. Don't get it twisted. But I feel like he can damn sure outlast her. No doubt in my mind, he can outlast her. He said Adam still watches her. Yeah. Can Carol even take out crazy ass Scarlet Witch? Well, you clearly, Paul, it's a lot of people that Scarlet Witch can take out in the MCU, apparently. So there you go. And then I feel like she didn't square up with nobody that could give her a hard enough run in Doctor Strange. Remember when Soups and Nuclear fought? Nuke fought dirty and everything. Soups said, yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Adam ain't no stand up toe to toe. I'm gonna do whatever I got. You saw it. You saw the movie. You saw it. You saw the movie. You saw it. So it looked like a lot of people think it's gonna be Black Adam. I am one of those lot of people. That's how it is. That's how it gonna be. That's how it is. That's how it gonna be. Now, before I take off, say you're taking off? Yeah, I'm taking off. He said we don't talk about the nuclear man. We don't. If I'm being honest. I want to leave y'all with this thought. Saw this yesterday, and I decided I'm going to share this with the real ones at the Rock With Me Nation. What made me think about that? What made well first, before I say that, you tell me what your thoughts are about that statement. I'll give you a couple seconds. Marinate. Think about it. But y'all should have choice words. Y'all should have choice words for that statement. Nobody got nothing? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I think. What's going on in this country no longer has anything to do with anything political, because the political has incensed and emboldened a specific demographic to say and do deplorable things. Some people might be willing to stand for it. I'm not. If you feel like there's something you want to do, we can handle it. Like I said, I'm not my parents. I'm not my grandparents. I'm not going to turn the other cheek while people throw rocks at me and spit at me. I'm just not. And if people don't understand by now what's going on in this country, then you are going to continue to be in the position you're in because you're choosing to be in that position. About the yellow part, that has been obvious for decades. Where was the Dems' outrage when he was on their side? And I think Kamoyo, I think you summed it up pretty much. And to that Kamoyo, I would add and the brainwashed. Because the brainwashed make up a huge demographic of his followers, the people who emulate him and say what he says, say harebrained stuff when he say harebrained stuff, deflect when he deflects. Just like there's a playbook out there of how to do the shit, because they all do it. I've ran into to black people, white people, Latino people. They all do the same thing. It's like it's a school they've been sent to behave that way and like just throw common sense out the window sometimes. It's a scary thought, y'all. Yet Paul in high school knew I was looking at Basura with money. Huh. Okay. The progressive never liked Trump cozying up to the corporate Democrats. But like I said, focus. It ain't political no more. You see what I'm saying? We're beyond political. It's, if anything, a lot of it sounds fanatical. You know what I mean? It sounds like it is the time to embrace the evil and outlandish for a certain demographic, which means saying and doing all of that stuff you thought about saying and doing 3-4 years ago, but you knew better not to because the system hadn't acclimated itself the way it has now, and it now not only accommodates these people, but it rewards them. Something to think about as you go about your day. Something to think about. Kamoyo says his wife is an election commissioner. The two ladies who work the voting polls with her are old black Trump supporters. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Steven at Candyland. Look here, y'all. I'm about to wrap this up, but I want y'all to remember tomorrow to pull up for Friday Night Vibing. We got some topics for Friday, y'all. Y'all really want to make sure y'all pull up on Friday because me and Theo been cooking, man. And we got a little something for you. So y'all make sure y'all pull up at the regular time, same real time, same real channel. We're gonna do it like we do it. We're gonna do it like Pruitt. We're gonna get through it. But thank y'all, Rock With Me Nation, real ones, the real ones, pulling up tonight and supporting. I appreciate it. But I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do when I do what I do it. But y'all make sure y'all pull up. I might get I get y'all a little preview of what's going on with that Marvel superhero Secret Wars action figure thing. So I have some of those figures pulled out and ready to go because I gotta locate them. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go to my Rolodex and where's this one and where's that one and get them all out. But we're gonna be good to go for Action Figure Tuesday. So y'all make sure y'all pull up for that. That is it for now, y'all. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.